Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. I am so happy right now. I just found some confirmation on these things that I've been telling you guys as far as just smile. Fake it till you make it. There's a reason for it. I've noticed a lot of the things in my teachings, some are academic, some of them are related to real life experiences, the things I've learned. I've been in these narcissistic relationships 3-4 decades now. So I can relate to what you guys are going through. I got stuck in that rumination for decades. So I keep saying, like, just smile. Smiles are contagious. They bring people towards you. It kind of tricks your mind into feeling a happier place. Also, like I said, people are drawn to you, but there's something called the vagus nerve. And this is something that I really want to get a little bit deeper. It's the largest cranial nerve that we have. It goes all the way from the brain all the way down to our colon. And in my slideshows, I'll show you the organs that it affects. But during our narcissistic relationships, our nervous system is messed up. Not only our brains, but our brains are connected to that vagus nerve. I had come across something on the internet where it says to like splash your face with some cold water. It stimulates that vagus nerve, helps calm you down. But ours is damaged, and our central nervous system is damaged because of it. Often we either feel anxious. I feel anxious a lot when I should feel calm. It's really hard to calm down, even though things are going good. And there's something with the vagus nerve connected to our facial structure when we smile or when we frown. Also in the words that we say. Be real careful on the words you say. On the positive outlook, keep it positive, because you can be like, yeah, like he left me, and as opposed to, it's over, but I got this new future because now we're starting to smile. That sends signals to our vagus nerve, which is connected to our brain. And that's how our brain processes where we go from here. So during these narcissistic relationships, we're frowning a lot. We're trying not to argue. We're doing things with our face. We're talking to our friends and we're like, I don't know what to do. And we get more worried lines and the creases from frowning so much. We might slouch a little more. If we stand up straight, that's connected. That helps stimulate that vagus nerve getting back into a healthy state, because it affects our central nervous system. I'm going to go ahead and share that slideshow with you guys so you can see a little bit more of what it's all about. And there we go. It's like bebopping all around. So let me share this with you guys. And it's really important for us to be aware of the healings that we can do, the things that we can change. So right here, you'll see, I'll share it big for you guys. Here we go. Sorry about that. Here's a slideshow. Okay, so our cranial nerve X, the vagus nerve, is what we're talking about. Now, this is critical for supplying the parasympathetic information to our organs, such as the respiratory system. It starts up here and goes through our body all the way down to the colon. It deals with respiration, our urinary symptoms, how regular our digestive processes, also our heart rate, bronchial constriction, our lungs constricting to breathe or have a difficulty, and also our digestive process. So right here, you see it goes to our heart. So if we're in an unhealthy state, our heart is in an unhealthy state as well. We can have heart palpitations. It can change our blood pressure, can cause us to pass out. And what does this nerve do? Why is it important? So it controls our throat muscles, which helps send food and air down the right tubes. We need oxygen to be healthy. Sometimes that might be why we don't want to eat, or we have difficulty in the way that we talk. We're trying to say, even if we're just like, yeah, I'm having a good day, but it starts constricting and we're sounding sad. And when we start to do that, our vagus nerve puts us in this sad state. It's responsible for our speech muscle movements. It helps control our digestion. And it's also responsible for when we feel full. So sometimes you might be overeating because your central nervous system is off based on that vagus nerve. And it will help to convey the information from the organs to the brains when we're uncomfortable. If our gut's upset, it's going to cause like a snowball effect where our facial, we're not going to feel as good. So our face is going to be a little droop. So our brain's going to process are we in this fight or flight mode? And it can lower our blood pressure in case of illness or emotional stress. And be careful when it's overstimulated, it can cause fainting. So sometimes when we get over upset, it causes fainting, or if our body's in distress, can cause lack of consciousness. And if you pass out, sometimes you'll lose your bladder control. It's just something that happens. You can't control it. So here you can see another diagram. Your vagus nerve connected to the brain goes through all these different areas: lungs, heart, spleen, kidney, even your liver, colon, your intestines, your stomach. And it goes, here's your cardiac branch, which is your heart, your pulmonary plexus. Pulmonary is related to breathing, and your esophageal plexus is the tube basically down into your stomach. So it just shows all these different areas and the damage that is done. If you have a vagal response, you could even have blurred vision, tunnel vision, sweating, turning pale, nausea, nauseated, dizziness. You might feel warm, some hot flashes or something similar, ringing in the ears, your skin. The reaction can feel cold and cold and clammy. So these are things that our vagus nerve is starting to be disturbed. And over these prolonged times with our narcissist, we're off balance. And we're in this cycle that we have to stop. We have to help our central nervous system get back on track so we can get back on track. There's external stimuli and internal stimuli. So our internal stimuli is the facial expressions, how we hold our bodies, and the external stimuli can be, from the narcissist, or, us starting not to take care of ourselves. We're not sleeping right. We're having brain fog, but we can take control of what we can take control of. It's going to take time. Unfortunately, there is that grieving process. We have to go through all 5 stages. We just do, or we're going to be stuck in denial. So let yourself cry. Let yourself get mad. And, in the beginning, we do that bargaining. Like, if I promise to work out more, will he want me back? And please bring him back to me if I get in better shape. I shouldn't let myself go, or whatever it is that you're thinking. It's not always related to body looks, but getting a job, or cleaning the house better. We're bargaining. We're like, please, but we're bargaining to get back into this evil relationship. And that's from that trauma bond. We love our abuser. But, can people change? Statistically, whether, it's weight loss or smoking or drugs, people are creatures of habit. Sometimes they do change, sometimes, but there's got to be a motivation for it, or an illness, a major life catastrophe. Sometimes that can kickstart somebody into changing. I know I was pretty lucky how I carried the weight. But I was 78 pounds heavier. I was just a thick girl, very thick, no rolls. I still looked nice, but I was definitely thicker than I wanted to be. But I got mono, and I just lost like 14 pounds. My stomach shrunk so much, and it was just easier. It's just easier. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go with it. But without that event, I probably would have still been in my same routine. So sometimes can a narcissist change? It's kind of who they are. It's their personality. And, maybe they can try harder, they can try to be more self-aware, but it's so ingrained in who they are, you know. It's almost like they're going to feel homesick for who they were. They're not going to see it as something better. They're going to see it as something weaker, where there's no coping skills. There's all this crap. You got to take accountability, which is uncomfortable for them. So their whole life is going to be uncomfortable. When it's just going to be easier to start over with a new supply. So we have to take care of ourselves. And when that vagus nerve gets disrupted, you saw all the organs it's connected to. And that's why it can be so unhealthy to stay in these narcissistic relationships. Emotional abuse, might as well call it physical abuse. You know, there might not be any broken bones, but you can literally die from a broken heart. It can cause brain fog. It causes brain damage, which is physical damage. It can cause digestive problems. Once those digestive problems get too out of whack, you can get ulcers, diverticulitis. I'm starting to research a little bit more on Crohn's, but they're starting to do different research on some of the issues we've dealt with that cause, whether it's irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. I'm going to research that a little bit more, but talking about contraindications, that is a word I did not learn till nursing school. What is contraindications? It's the bad things that come from the good. So you take a medicine, what is it, like Chantix to quit smoking, you're going to have nightmares. Wellbutrin, you're going to have weight loss, which may or may not help you. There's different contraindications. Some of them are death, diarrhea, whatever it is. So sometimes when we deal with depression, they might put us on these antidepressants. I had a casual coworker friend who was on an antidepressant, and it gave her suicidal tendencies, and she shot herself in the head. Be careful of the medications that you are on. Be aware of what those contraindications are. So if you're taking any kind of medication, you should be aware of that. Sometimes, I don't know if it's acne that you're trying to get a medication for, and the contraindication is suicidal tendencies. You got to decide if it's really worth it for 2 or 3 pimples. Contraindications in a narcissistic relationship. Whoa, that's a long list. It lowers our self-esteem, our sense of reality, a sense of belonging. It gives us loneliness. You can be with that person, but you can be so lonely. Our confidence and communicating effectively, we are blown out of the water. Like, what are we doing wrong? It consumes our thoughts, and consumes our mind, and takes away from time with our kids or our family or our friends, and all this depression. And put that smile on your face. It's honestly one little step. It is one little step. We got to take every little step that we can take. That's why I say go outside, enjoy, even just for 5-10 minutes. And the vitamin D is good for you from the sun. And try and even just eat food that's like healthy or doesn't make you feel weighed down. Get enough sleep, stay on a schedule, try to keep up with the housework, and look in the mirror and smile and just go, I'm proud of you. You vacuumed today. Just put those smiles on and see it. It reinforces it. And even when you're sad, it's okay to be sad. I teach this class on body language, and people's perception of us. There's this one where this guy who's frustrated and arms are crossed and head down. I do that when I'm cold, and I'm kind of keeping people away just on doing that. And I don't mean to. I'm just always so cold. I'm not in a bad mood. But what we put forth is what people are going to see and what people are going to be drawn to. So Think back to before you met your narcissist. What's your identity? Your identity is not who this narcissist turned you into for a little while. Just like if my whole family was murdered right now, I'd probably be crying. I probably would not be really social. That's not who I am as a person. I'm just going through something. So you're going through something. Do some grieving, but then show who you are. And if you feel lost on who is this person, I don't even remember this person, maybe look back through some of your pictures or reconnect with friends and think about, were you willing to try new things? Were you adventurous? Did you enjoy shopping or going to a baseball game or whatever it was that you enjoyed, or what you like to talk about, or the shows you like to watch, the way you connect with people? That's who you are. That's who you are. You're not this grumpy, sad person. And it's that vagus nerve that has us in this funk. And sometimes we can get stuck in it. And that's why I don't want you guys to do what I did. I got stuck in it way too long. I wanted my family. But, either you both want it, but you even look at like the red flags that we overlooked. And then mine didn't really appear until the breakup. There were some, but geez, but this person was so bad to me, excessively abusive in every aspect of my life. I didn't even have to see him and he was abusing me, costing me jobs, and had a dance studio, had police harassment, just everything. It was just, whoa. And I ruminated about him because I wanted my family, but you know what I missed out on is maybe it would have been a stepdad, maybe. But, we would have had a solid foundation as a family. And, some of you think, do I leave my person if there's kids involved? Those kids get affected too. And they need to feel safe. They need to feel loved. So evaluate your situation. Are you sacrificing because you want this, Leave It to Beaver type household that's a facade? Because your kids are on the inside. Your kids aren't on the outside. So don't keep up with Joneses. Take care of your kids. And I'll leave that up to you guys to decide, or feel free to ask me a little bit more in depth. But if you're with a narcissist, it's going to trickle down to the kids. Even if one child is that golden child, they're going to turn into a grandiose narcissist probably. And you're probably going to overcompensate the lost child who wasn't the golden child. And that's going to be a vulnerable child, vulnerable narcissist. Narcissists make narcissists. And even if you're not a narcissist, but if your partner is, there's that infection in the household. Infections usually get worse. And there is no treatment for narcissism. For comorbidity factors, there is. So if your husband and wife is depressed or anxious, you can take care of that stuff. But with all the word salad, confusion, control, entitlement, it's toxic. And narcissists, it's kind of like you put a frog in water and slowly turn up the heat. They're just going to sit there. They're going to stay in that water and boil to death. That's what a narcissistic relationship is. It's subtle sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's subtle. To just like that frog in that water, it's leading to death of a relationship, or death of who you are as a person. So even if you physically survive, it's an emotional death we're going through. We're going to start to feel numb, lost, confused, hopeless. We're going to lose our drive and motivation. And you deserve so much better than that. So do your kids. And I just wanted to show you guys the vagus nerve, how important it is to kind of get that back on track. Because once you get stuck in that funk, it takes steps to get away from that state of mind. And it is connected. So try even when you talk about things. You know, if you want to address it, say, yeah, you know, he didn't call today, but I'm going shopping with the girls or whatever. Turn that facial expression around. It's in a sense fooling your brain to believe you're happier than you are. Once you fool yourself, it becomes real because you start to experience it. But it's different with the narcissist. We can't fool ourselves into this person being something different. They're toxic. Fooling yourself that you're happier is not toxic. And you deserve to be happy. You deserve for your gut to feel okay, for you to breathe the right way, for your blood pressure to be the right amount, for you not to feel flush and about to pass out. You deserve to feel healthy again. And I wish you guys well. Topic requests are welcome. And I'll see you in the next video. See, just smile. It does get better.